August is now upon us, and with a new month comes a new stack of very exciting books to read. I do feel like I dropped the ball a little bit in July. I felt like I was reading consistently throughout the month, but the books have not been read. So apparently I wasn't. But today I'm going to be talking about 7 books that I'm going to be adding onto my honestly never-ending TBR, and also letting you guys in on a few of my content plans for the month as well. We will, as always, be starting off with my book club requirements, and August marks the start of a brand new read-along because Sandra from Got a Thing for Things is blessing us with a read-along of Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere. Now, you may be most familiar with Sandra from the endless torment that she put me through with the Wheel of Time read-along, but this read-along is not going to be that because I've already read the majority of the Cosmere. I'm going to be rereading for this read-along, and honestly, I'm really excited because it's been a couple of years now since I've read from the Cosmere. I have fallen a little bit behind, and I'm really excited for this opportunity to not only reread, but to hold myself accountable to actually catching up and carrying on where I need to. So I will put Sandra's announcement video down below. You are going to see a lot of the catch up book club hosts there, which there will be an announcement coming at some point soon for the next era of Catch Up Book Club as well. But you'll also see some of the Wheel of Time long hosts there as well. But the first book that we're going to be starting with is Brandon Sanderson's first published novel in the Cosmere, which is Elantris. This was one of, if not the first adult epic fantasy book that I ever read. I read it in the history of my channel actually in, I think, 2018. And it's been so long now that I don't remember a whole ton about it. So I'm really excited to revisit this one. From what I remember, this one is about a magical city called Elantris, but the magic in the city has died and everything within it is now rotten. One of our characters that we follow is to be married to the prince of a kingdom close to Elantris, and when she arrives, she finds out that he has been cursed with the affliction of Elantris and he has been sent there. So we definitely follow her perspective on the outside, and we also follow his perspective within Elantris, trying to survive within the city. I loved this when I read it. I can't remember if I rated it 4 or 5 stars, but now that I've read so much from Sanderson and I'm a lot more familiar with the Cosmere, this is one of the ones that I'm the most excited to reread and refresh myself on. And the live show for this one is going to be coming up really soon on the 8th of August on Sandra's channel. The second book club book I'm going to be reading, I think I mentioned in my July TBR. It's for my Patreon book club where we're currently reading through Penn Cole's Kindred's Curse saga, and for the months of July and August we are going to be reading Glow of the Everflame. I'm going to be reading this at the beginning of August and making a spoilery vlog on it that I will post on Patreon, and the one for Spark of the Everflame is already up if you want to join in and catch up across the month of August. But this one is a very popular romance series following a young woman called DM who is a healer in the human lands that are attached to the lands of the Descended. The Descended are the children of the gods, and the humans live very separate lives from the Descended. They think that they're oppressive, they think that they're better than everyone, and DM has been warned her entire life to stay away from them. However, her mother is a healer that has been working with the Descended to treat their king who is dying, and when DM's mother goes missing, DM ends up going into the palace herself to take up some of her mother's duties, especially in the wake of an accident, and she ends up finding out a lot about her mother that she had no clue about, whilst also trying to get to the bottom of where exactly her mother is because she's disappeared without a trace. And this puts her at odds when she starts to get to know some of the Descended, and her loyalties are torn between the new people that she's met there and also the people that she's known her entire life who may be a little bit misguided in their beliefs. I really loved Spark of the Everflame, and honestly I could have gone straight from Spark into Glow, and I've heard that this series gets better with every book if you can get behind the fact that the main character behaves a little bit irrationally, which so far I'm fine with her, so fingers crossed I'll end up loving book 2. Next up we'll do my Patreon pick. So if you're unfamiliar with this, every member of the top tier of my Patreon can recommend a book that gets added into this mug, and every month I pull one out with the aim to read it in the months that follow. So for August we'll go with this blue one, which is, oh, I can't read my own writing. This has been in here for a little while, I think blue was either the colour for last year or the year before, but it is Rumo and His Miraculous Adventures by Walter Mowers. This one is Julia's pick, and the reason why I can tell that this one has been in here for a while is because I now only have recommendations, like the new ones going in are from my existing TBR, so I actually don't know anything about this book. So this one is book 3 in a series, but I'm assuming that you can read the books independently, and it's also translated. I am going to read you the synopsis. It actually sounds really cute. It says, Rumo is a little woolputing, a domesticated creature somewhere between a deer and a dog, who will one day become the greatest hero in the history of Zamonia. Armed with Dandelion, his talking sword, he fights his way across Overworld and Netherworld, two very different realms chock full of adventures, dangers, and unforgettable characters. Rala, the beautiful girl woolputing, who cultivates a hazardous relationship with death. Urs of the Snows, who thinks more of cooking than of fighting. Gorab the 99th, the demented king of Netherworld. Professor Ostefan Colbury, who goes in search of the non-existent teenies. General TikTok, the evil commander of the Copper Killers. Ushin DeLuca, the finest and most weather-sensitive swordsman in Zamonia. There's so many of these. Volzatan Smike, the corpulent shark grub. Rolv of the Forest, a woolputing who can pass through the white fire. Yggdrasil, the guardian of the Nern Forest and its talkative animals. Professor Abdullah Nightingale, inventor of the Chest of Drawers Oracle. And the worst of luck, the deadly metal maiden. A lot of my friends' ratings and reviews are pretty high for this, but I've honestly never heard of it. So if you guys have read this, let me know what you think. I'm going to be going in completely blind. This was published in 2006, translated from maybe German. Let me know your thoughts. I do also have a couple of arcs for August. The first one is for the 4th and it is from Del Rey. So thank you so much to Del Rey for sending this one along. And it is The Castle and the Cloister by Laura E. Weymouth. I am obsessed with the cover of this book. I think that the art on here is so pretty. But this one is the first book in a political fantasy duology that has been compared to Priory of the Orange Tree, the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb, which is one of my favourites, and also the Winternight trilogy by Catherine Arden, which is another one of my favourites. This one seems to be a multi-perspective fantasy, and honestly, the synopsis does not give too much away. It says 2 centuries ago, the kingdom of Honoria's goddesses were silenced in blood. Now as the realm's fragile peace falters, the whims of a king may reignite the engines of war. In the cloister of the Sun Goddess, we are following a young postulant who seeks safety for her child but finds that safety comes at a steep price. We are also following a queen who strives for peace and her husband, the king, who thirsts for war. Sounds really good, but honestly, none of the descriptions on here are giving me very much, so it's honestly just making me a lot more intrigued to dive into this one. My second arc is from Bloomsbury, so thank you so much to Bloomsbury for sending me a proof of To Dance with Death by Brittany Arena, which is released on the 13th of August. Now this one is the second book in a duology, so to read this one, I'm gonna have to read A Dance with Lies. I'm really excited about this one, mainly because of a negative review that I heard that made this sound like something that I'm really gonna love. Our main character in here is a dancer who has been imprisoned, but the king offers to free her providing that she spies for him at an upcoming royal gathering. The negative review that I saw for this one was actually a DNF, but they said to the point where they got into it, which was a considerable amount of the way through, there was no fantastical elements. It was mainly just politics and court intrigue. I also heard that there's either a lot of yearning in here or a slow burn romance, and I think that the combination of those two things is really gonna work for me. And then I did promise you guys a little 3-part vlog series reviewing the first year of the Broken Bindings sci-fi and fantasy sub. Now you're not gonna be seeing those vlogs in August. I'm planning on making a 3-part vlog series with each installment containing 3 books, because the Broken Bindings sub started as bi-monthly in September last year, and then at some point at the beginning of this year it moved to monthly. So between September and August this year we have 9 books total. Now because that is a considerable amount of books and they're all adult fantasy, I thought I may as well get a head start in August, so I've added 2 of the books to this TBR. The 3rd book in the sub I actually already read because I had an arc of it, but the first one is The Crossroads of the Ravens by Andrzej Sapkowski, which is a Witcher prequel. Now I have tried the Witcher series before. I've only read the first collection of of short stories, and I want to read more into that series to get to the full installments because I'm not a fan of short stories in general. But this one is a new introductory point where you can jump in instead of reading the older books, following Geralt in, is it Kaer Morhen, which is the school that trains witches. I think that this is a really interesting element of the story because we all love a training academy, and we're also getting some backstory into a well-loved character. Despite not having read the series, I have played The Witcher 3 and I've also watched the show, all of the ones that had Henry Cavill in. Anyway, I haven't watched any of the Liam Hemsworth ones, so I have some familiarity with the world, and I'm interested to see how I feel about this given that I didn't love the first short story collection. And then the second book is by an author who I've wanted to read from in the past but I haven't sampled yet, and that is All That We See or Seem by Ken Liu, which was the book for November last year. This one is a sci-fi following a young hacker who is recruited by a lawyer to find his missing wife who has been kidnapped by a crime syndicate, and the wife is an artist who uses artificial intelligence to craft shared dreams for thousands of followers. The bottom of the synopsis in this says that it blends high stakes intrigue with profound speculation about the future of art and society in the shadow of artificial intelligence, and I love sci-fi that critiques society, so I'm really interested in getting into this one. It might be a bit of a scary read, you know, because we're living in the age of artificial intelligence, but I'm intrigued to see what Ken Liu has to say on the matter in this book. And that, my friends, is everything that I have for August. I will of course be working on a new episode of Shelve It or Scrap It throughout the month, where I'm once again planning to use a random number generator to select the books that I'm going to read. You will be seeing a video on my channel very shortly where I had a bit of a bookshelf reorganization because I accidentally hauled a lot of books in July and I had to find somewhere to put them. So I did a bookshelf reorganization, I did like an unhaul with me, and I also added an unhaul onto the end of that video of everything that I've kind of been gathering waiting to film an unhaul. But on top of that, I also added a couple of books to the stacks and reshuffled a lot of the books that were in there to freshen them up a bit because I was tired of having a lot of the same books to pull from every month. So do check that out when it drops. I think it's going to be coming very soon. It should be the next video posted on my channel if you would like to see what's going to be in the stacks going into the next episode of Shelve It or Scrap It. I want to do one regular weekly vlog focusing mainly on my book club reads. I do also have an epic fantasy vlog coming up for you guys very soon, which I've already been working on and that I'm nearly done with, so none of these books are going to be included in that, but that should be coming up throughout the month of August. And I've also got a couple of other ideas floating around, but that is already a lot to be getting on with, so we'll leave it there for content plans for now. But this is my official August TBR, as well as of course Julia's pick, which was Rumo and His Miraculous Adventures, as well as of course Glow of the Everflame. So let me know, especially for that Patreon pick, whether you've read it, what you thought of it, if you expect me to like it, as well as your thoughts on any of the other books that I'm going to be picking up this month. But aside from that, guys, I hope that you have a wonderful August. I hope that you read all of the books and that you enjoy all of them as well. But that is about it from me today, guys. So please don't forget to like this video if you liked it and subscribe if you wanna. If you head into my description box, you'll find a link to my Goodreads, my Instagram, and my Patreon if you want to follow me on any of those. But that's it from me today, guys. Bye!
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you will go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.